Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back. So in today's video, I thought it would be really fun to revisit my makeup favorites from 2019 before I start gathering my 2020 favorites. I did already start pulling out a few products here. There are a few that are still some of my everyday staples are still in my rotation, and there are a lot of products here that I actually kind of forgot about, or the ones that just kind of got lost in my collection. So I think this is going to be a super fun video just for the memories, you know? So before we get into it, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It means so much to me, and let's get to it. All my headbands are kind of full of bronzer right now. It's not the cutest thing. So I'm gonna try to use this Charlotte Tilbury eye mask that I got in one of my holiday presents from her. This is so funny. I think it's gonna work. I actually pulled this out in my office because I was trying to do a video where I just picked out makeup blindly, but then I realized I am just way too organized of a person and I know exactly where every product is, and I'm not about to mix up my whole collection for a video. That just caused me a lot of work. First things first, I pulled up my video from last year. The first two things on my list here were the Summer Fridays jet lag mask and same with the overtime mask. I actually no longer have either of those products. I've run through them and I definitely forgot to repurchase them. So I remember those were some of my all-time favorite masks, so maybe I should repurchase. But now starting off with makeup primer. The primer I loved last year was the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I haven't used this in a while, but it is one of my favorites for longevity. I usually gravitate towards this more so in the summer months, or if I'm on a hotter vacation. I really wish I was on a hotter vacation. Or I'll even use this when I know I'm going to need my makeup to stay on for a very long time, which I haven't had to recently because what am I doing? Where am I going? Here, I'm either at my house or my parents'. So I'm just gonna take a pump and a half of that, and I'm gonna focus this everywhere. I already have all of my skincare down. This is the only primer I've actually noticed a huge difference in longevity. It's a fantastic primer and I don't use it enough. It leaves your skin feeling very tacky, but it's not super uncomfortable feeling. Next up, I had my Guerlain L'Essentiel foundation, which you guys already know I love still. I just put out my 10 favorite foundation video and that was still in it. But the other foundation I had in here, which I forgot about, is the Milk Makeup Flex Stick Foundation. So I'm gonna try this out again. I haven't used this in a very, very long time. I'm actually going to wipe off the top just in case if there's something growing on the top of there, just because I feel like I used to swipe this on my face directly. I'm going to blend it out with a clean Royal Langnickel complexion brush, and I'm just gonna work off the stick. I'm excited to see how this compares to the new Huda one that I've been liking recently, or how it compares to other foundations in general. I don't really remember my thoughts. I'm using the shade Shell, by the way. I feel like this is actually a good shade match, which is great, because I think I got rid of my other shades. This definitely feels a little bit drier than the Huda Beauty foundation. It feels a little bit more powdery. It's actually looking pretty good. I have been using a prescription topical acne cream that I got from my doctor just to kind of eliminate the current acne I've been getting. I've been having like a little bit of a blow up, but this is looking quite good. My entire face is feeling quite dry and flaky right now, and this is just kind of smoothing over the dry patches, and it's not like attaching to the dry skin at all. It's just kind of covering it, not bothering it at all. So it looks okay. I don't know, I'll have to try this out again on a better skin day, just because I am very dry, but it looks pretty good. Like, I still look pretty glowy, which is nice. I don't know if it's ever going to be a favorite again, but I'm definitely gonna have to try this out a couple of more times to see my thoughts on it. But right now I feel like I am more drawn to the Huda Beauty Stick Foundation. I also had on here the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation, which is still one of my big favorites. And then for concealer, I had the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer and the Lila B Concealer, but I no longer have the Lila B one just because they don't have an inclusive shade range. and I just got rid of it for that. But I do have the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer, which is still one of my favorites as well. I'm using the whole Milk Makeup line. I guess I really had a good time with them last year. So I'm going to be using a little bit of the shade Light, which is a bit too deep and a little too yellow for me right now. So I'm going to add in a little bit of the shade Fair, which is too light and too pink for me right now. So together, I feel like they'll make a nice neutral shade. So I'm just gonna blend that in with my sponge real quick. So I didn't have a favorite powder on here, so I'm just going to quickly set my under eyes, but that's it. And I'm going to be using my Pat McGrath Labs Under Eye Blurring Powder, just because I'd like to get some blurring properties up in here. And this is the Nabla N302 brush. I'm just gonna place this right under my eye, right in here, as per usual. And I always do a really nice, cute face while I'm doing this to stretch out my lines under here. It's like I'm giving crap to a little child, like, stop throwing your blocks. So I did have, I guess technically, two bronzers in here. So I had the Fenty Beauty in the Sun bronzer, which is still one of my favorites actually. I even hit pan on it, so I'm definitely going to be using this today. I would love to do a little project pan on this one. And I also have the tan palette in here, which I'm really happy about. So I might add a little bit of this color in if I feel like I need more warmth, since the Fenty Beauty one is more of like a contour shade for me, if I'm being honest. So I'm first going to go in with this, with my Airbrush Precision Foundation brush. Just going to quickly, actually this pulls a lot more warm right now. I kind of forget that it's winter and I no longer have any sort of tan. Yesterday I had the weirdest day. I had a really horrible sleep. It was such a weird one. It was all because of a TikTok, I swear. I saw this TikTok and it was this guy and he was like, what if all of your exes were in the Hunger Games, who would win? And it made me think, and then I think it went into my dream that night, and there was somehow zombies included and all these horrifying things that I'm scared of. I have such an irrational fear of zombies, and I also think there were zombies in there because one of my ex-boyfriends, his whole chest was tattoos of scary ass zombies, and I couldn't, so I think that's why there were zombies in that dream. But anyways, horrible sleep, only had 3 hours, nightmares all night. And then the next morning I was just on the phone with my mom telling her about my crazy nightmare, and I was on the way down to make myself a matcha. I have a glass front door, but it's kind of frosted. There was a man, just a silhouette of a man, and it was just a delivery guy, but it was so horrifying. I screamed. He definitely heard me. And I was like, Mom, there's a man at my door. Like, it's so weird. It's a delivery guy. They come every day pretty much. I got so scared, and I also had to pee so bad. I almost peed myself, and it was of course a package that I had to sign for. Thought you guys would enjoy that little story time. I actually think this is bronzing my face enough. I'm gonna use this for my highlighter. Am I? We'll see. That bronzer application, definitely not my best, but look, I made progress. There's a new little pan indentation right here. How exciting. Love this stuff. So now moving on to highlighter. I actually completely forgot about this one. This is the Dior Face and Body highlighter in the shade Universal. They only have one. And I think I kind of forgot about this because this is very similar to the new Rare Beauty ones, and I do like that formulation more because it has more of a creamy texture and it's funner to apply. But I find their finishes to be quite similar, so I'm going to use a little bit of this. This also reminds me of my niece Molly, because when I still lived at my parents', every time she'd come over, she'd run up to my room and pick out my 2 Dior bottles like this and just hold them all day, and you could not take them out of her hand or she'd get real mad. So cute. Reminds me of my niece. Which, by the way, you guys, I have another niece on the way. She's due in February. So I'm just going to apply that with my finger. I haven't used this in like 6 months, I think. I don't know. Can't remember the last time I pulled this out. Probably actually the video where Molly picked my makeup. I didn't remember it having such a perfumey smell to it. I don't remember the smell at all. It smells nice though, it's nice and fresh. Those bougie brands love to super perfume their products. They love it, they live for it. That is freaking beautiful. I don't know if I like it as much as the Rare one. I feel like it's actually a little bit more subdued than I remember. I thought it used to be a lot more intense. So that's interesting. It's so beautiful on camera too. Wow. I'm gonna have to use that more. And I think I'm going to, just for the fun of it, layer a little bit of this on top since this wasn't my favorite, so why not? And I'm using my little Moda Pro Glow brush to apply a tiny bit. I think I'm just gonna leave it on my cheekbones or else I feel like I'm going to be too much of a disco ball. I'm a fibber. I just fibbed. I'm just gonna put a little bit more on. You didn't see that. You didn't. I'm kind of really enjoying the way that the base is looking. I mean, I have been quite consistent in loving all the products I used. The only one that I'm kind of unsure about is the Flex foundation stick. I feel like I just need to exfoliate my skin and then it's over for y'all. But now it's time to move on to eyebrows actually. Before I do blush, I almost skipped over eyebrows. And these are the two products I had in my favorites video. I did not know that I have been loving this for almost a year consistently. That's crazy. This is the Cosmetics Ebony Brow Cream. I thought I discovered this year, so that's news to me. So I'm just gonna quickly run this through my brows, and I really like this because it just makes your eyebrow routine go on real quick without having to really take the time to do them. And doing eyebrows has always been not my favorite thing to do, so this product has been a saving grace for me. That's it. Takes like 30 seconds, not even. I like to kind of point my brows inwards in the front here just to make them look a little bit more fluffy. And sometimes I'll do a couple layers of this if I want them to appear more bushy or more filled in. And then the other brow product I had in here was the Glossier Brow Flick. And I haven't used this in a while. This is a newer one. It's just a little brush tip. And it has a very sheer product in there. And it gives really sheer brow-like strokes, which is really nice for people with thinner brows who want to have more natural looking brows, but at the same time thicken. So it just is the perfect product to add in some little fake hairs. And I haven't used anything like this in a very long time. It's one of those products where you are doing this and you feel like you aren't doing anything until all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I like it. I feel like I should use that more often when I want more of a dramatic brow look. I feel like with the darker hair too, it would be a little bit better. I found that my eyebrows have been pulling off a little too late ever since I dyed my hair a little darker. So now for blush, I had a couple of things in here. I had the Lila B Be Lovely blush, which is just a nice kind of everyday bronzy tone. And then I also had the CoverFX Warm Honey and Soft Peach monochromatic duos, which are still some of my favorites, especially Warm Honey. That's my #1 favorite, just because I feel like it suits every month of the year. This is Warm Honey on top and Soft Peach on the bottom, but this one's my absolute favorite out of all of them. I find that this one looks really great in the summer. It pulls more of like a bronzy tan. It's a perfect fall tone as well, and then in the winter it kind of pulls more cranberry when I'm a bit paler, so it's just kind of a great all year round blush. I love it. And the other ones I've had in here are the Nude Stick Sunset Strip, which I don't really use on my channel anymore. Lila B definitely has a lot of work to do in their inclusivity problem. They definitely don't have enough products for everyone, which is a shame because their products are very beautiful. I really hope they make a stance to actually work on that. I feel like their blushes have a decent range. It's definitely something I feel like a lot more people could wear, but it's still not the best. To be honest, I just really want to wear Warm Honey. Any excuse that I can to wear Warm Honey, I will and I shall. I just love this blush so very much. I'm just gonna take a tiny bit because this is very pigmented. A tiny touch of this goes a very, very long way. And I'm using this BH Cosmetics #3 brush. It's just a simple angled brush, and I'm going to bring that on my cheeks. Maybe I should have saved blush for after I do my eyes because I have so many eyeshadow palettes. I'm just taking the matte side right now. And I'm just gonna take a touch of the shimmery side just to add some more glow. Or just a lot more blush. That's a lot of blush, but I'm just gonna leave it for now. I can take it down if I feel like later, but I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I just got a package delivery and I'm really excited. I got the new Cosmetics Faded Clementine eyeshadow palette and new lip product, and I also got, finally, the Melt Cosmetics Beetlejuice collection. Oh my god, I'm so excited to open that up. But anyways, now moving on to eyes, I had a couple of favorite palettes here. The first one being the Melt Muerte palette, which is so stunning. I actually recently used this in one of my videos, so I don't think I'm going to use it today, but I mean, look at this. I love how rich it is. I love the depth, and it's so stunning to look at. It's very unique for sure. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy I still have this. The next palette I had was my favorite Pat McGrath palette ever, which is the Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. These 4 shimmer shades up here is what makes this palette my favorite. They're so unique, and every time I use any of them, I re-fall in love with this palette all over again. And then I also had this one in here, which is the Going Coconuts palette from ColourPop, which I will say is no longer really a favorite of mine. Definitely a favorite out of the ColourPop eyeshadow range, but in general throughout all of my collection, I don't think this has lasted the test of time. It's still really cute. I just find that I have to reach for other palettes to make this more of a complete look if I want more depth or anything like that. Next up, I have my favorite palette of all time, the Natasha Denona Biba palette. I use this so much. And I also have this other one that I kind of forgot I had, which is the Victoria Beckham Tuxedo eye palette. I purchased this a long time ago and I completely forgot I had it, which is not fair. But look how cute it is. It's like a perfect little cool tone palette. And then I also had a couple of eye toppers. I had this little Kaja Beauty bento box, which is a really cute everyday palette. It's just your everyday tones, a deeper one, a mid-tone one, and a shimmer. And then I also had these 2 eyeshadow toppers, the Victoria Beckham Lid Luster right here. And this is it sheared out. And then this Super Shock Shadow from ColourPop, which still remains my favorite to have ever existed in my hands. This one right here, a little quirky, which I don't think you can get anymore. It came out with the Going Coconuts collection. So I don't know what I want to do on my eyes today. I kind of feel like it's either between these 2 right now, because the other ones I feel like I used recently. Or prime my lids and deliberate off camera. I think I'm going to be using this one just because I want to use this red tone since it is December, and I want to layer this green on top of it because it's December. You know, you got to. What I'm going to do here, I'm first going to take this shade right here in the crease with the Smith 232, and I'm going to zoom you guys in, of course. Something's threatening or is in this eyeball at the moment, so that's why it's looking like it's crying. I don't know, I can't see nothing in there. But anyways, gonna take that transition shade and I'm gonna pop this in the crease. Now I'm going to dip into this really nice chocolatey shade, and I'm gonna pop that on the outer corner and the outer V. I just wanna do more of a simple eye look to really showcase the shimmers. I'm gonna take this little ColourPop E29 brush with that same chocolate shade, and I'm going to bring that on the lower lash line. I'm just gonna diffuse that with a touch of that lighter brown. I think I'm going for more of like an almond shape, so not so pointy of a cat eye, but also not super rounded. I'm just gonna clean up my overblend with my sponge. I might deepen that up with some more of the chocolate shade. So now I'm just going to take my finger with the red coppery shade. I'm gonna place that all over the lid. I haven't used this in a very long time, this color. The beautiful satin coppery red. It has some orange in there. I'm just gonna take this little fluffy brush to kind of diffuse it. And I don't know if I've done this before, but I don't know how these are gonna layer. But I'm going to take this shade now, which is a duochrome. It's like a green, and then when you flip it, it turns really pink. Here, let me see, where's that mirror? Oh, that's my ear. Here, I'll turn down the brightness of my camera here, so you can see that it's kind of green. And then if you look in the mirror, it's like a pink shadow. You see that action? Pink, green, pink. So I think if I layer this on top of the red, the pink will shine through a little bit more. You know what? This doesn't look great. I made an oopsie and I forgot to turn up my lighting again. But I don't know if this was the move. I took a risk, and sometimes things turn out, but sometimes they do not. And today, it did not, but I'm going to pursue it anyways. I'm gonna add this shade on top just to maybe help things out. It's like a pressed glitter with a really intense yellow shift. So I'm just gonna add that to this disaster. It's still kind of cool. It's more of like an editorial vibe. In person. On camera, it's like Neapolitan ice cream, but with different colors. Anyways, I'm just going to quickly catch this eye up to speed real quick, and I will be right back. I gotta say, I'm a big fat liar because I actually kind of really like the way this looks now that it's on both eyes, and I added this little green color in the inner corner. I feel like Christmas. It's a little different than what I'm usually doing. It looks a little bit more, maybe a little grungy vibe. But I don't know, it's kind of growing on me. But anyways, now for mascara, I had two in my favorites video, and one of them was the Pat McGrath Labs Fetish Eyes Mascara and the Glossier Lash Slick. So two products that are still in my rotation. So I'm just gonna quickly apply this one. I really love the Pat McGrath mascaras. They give a very intense look. I feel like this one is probably expired. I should probably pick up a new one, but this is the mascara that helped me kind of stop using false lashes on the everyday. It was the first mascara that made my lashes look really incredible on their own. It's not working as well as usual. I think I just have to be more aggressive with it, but it just volumizes and lengthens the lashes very beautifully, and it doesn't get very chunky. You know what? This actually kind of reminds me of the NARS Extreme Climax Extreme. I always mix up those words. They're very similar textures and they give a really intense effect. I feel like this one's just getting a little too dry. I'm really liking how this eye look is turning out. Also, right now it's sunset, so I'm starting to get all these different shifts happening since the light is changing quickly. Let me know if you'd be interested in having like a 3 looks 1 palette on one of the other Pat McGrath palettes I have. I feel like I pulled this one out or the Midnight Sun a lot, but I also have the two Divine Rose ones, Divine Rose 1 and 2. So let me know which one you would like to see a 3 looks 1 palette on. I'll probably end up doing 3 looks 1 palettes for both, but which one would you like to see first? Let me know. And I'm just gonna put some Glossier Lash Slick on the bottom. This is still part of my everyday routine, either this or the M Cosmetics Pick Me Up. This one gives more of a light underlash look, whereas the M Cosmetics one is more volumizing and kind of more of a intense mascara vibe. This mascara I have gone through, I think 4 tubes this year. I always have one in my backups. It's just the perfect bottom lash mascara. It never smudges. You can build it up for a more chunky lash look or a very lightly defined look. It's very versatile. I'm going to build it up a little bit more today just because I want this eye look to be the focus. Sometimes I'm so hard on myself in my videos. I'm like, this eye look is shit, but it's actually really nice. So here are the eyes all finished. I think they turned out very beautifully. What a roller coaster of emotions I went through with this eye look, but the completed look, I am very in love with it. It has so many different dimensions. That's why I love Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette so much. She offers so many different textures, and it just always makes out for a very interesting and intricate eye look, no matter how simple you do it. Like, even though I use very simple techniques today, it's something that stands out. So I really love how that turned out. Mascara looks actually quite great too. So now let's move on to the lips. So now finally for lips, I have a couple of options here. So I first had some Cosmetics options. I had these three right here, which are still some of my favorites, to be honest. I had the Magic Hour and Morning Mocha Lip Clouds, as well as the Cosmetics Morning Dew Lip Gloss, which I still really enjoy. I think just Tower 28 just came in this year and swooped up all my love for any gloss. I just love their texture very much, whereas this one feels more like a classic gloss. It feels a little tacky. It gives more of a lacquered finish and a very glass-like look on your lips, which is stunning. Love these. I had to hide these away from myself for a little bit this past year because I was using them way too often. Every Instagram, every YouTube, it was a lot. Then I also had these Persona glosses, which are pretty much the gloss versions of these two colors here. I had Honey and Peach. Their glosses are very nice as well. They remind me of the Fenty glosses, but just more of a lip oil texture, which is really nice. And then I also had these two right here. So the Hourglass Unreal lip gloss in the shade Child, which I honestly kind of fell out of love with this formula. I have found with other lip glosses I discovered over the past year, this one didn't really shine compared to those ones. I find that this formula, while you're wearing it, kind of settles into the lip lines a touch. Don't think I'll be using that. And then lastly, I had this lipstick, which is the Guerlain Kiss Kiss lipstick in the shade 307 Nude Flirt, which is just a very nice everyday nude shade. I'll go for this if I don't really know what else to wear. So for today, I don't really know which color would suit this best. I kind of feel like the Guerlain one would be the best because it's pretty much my identical lip color, just in a lipstick. My lips but better, if you will. So I think I'm going to use this with a little bit of this gloss on top. I think that will flatter this look the most. And back then I didn't really use any lip liners, so I'm just gonna use this on its own. Still such a good lipstick color. I feel like it's only available in Canada though. And lastly, I'm just gonna put on some of the lip gloss, and I'm putting some on the back of my hand so I keep this as clear as possible. I'm gonna just take my finger and I'm gonna dab it on. Oh, this gloss just smells so good. Cute. Okay, that matches the blush very beautifully. It ties in everything, I think. So now it's time to take off my eye mask as my headband. And here we are. That headband kind of smooshed the curl out of my little detail framing hair pieces, but that's okay. So what do we think? I really like how everything turned out actually. This lip really reminds me of 2019. I remember wearing this like constantly that year, so this is funny. I really like the way it looks though. Honestly, still love everything. The only thing that I'm unsure about is the foundation, but pretty much after that, I think these stayed and remained consistent products that I would use throughout the year. I think this video just proved that I'm more consistent than I thought I was. A lot of these products remained in my usual rotation, just a few of them I kind of forgot about, but other than that, I think they all still remain favorites. I will have to update on this again. It looks stunning right now. It just is kind of piling up in my chin right here a little bit, but other than that, it looks flawless everywhere else. I think I remember why I liked this one so much. It's because it gave more of a high coverage look without it looking cakey at all, and that was one of the first more high coverage foundations that I have used that it didn't cake up on me or anything like that. It just looked like skin, and I still think it does. So I'm gonna pull this out and rotate it during the month of December and then leave it on my desk. But honestly, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I'm happy that all of these products still remained beautiful. I don't know what else I can say, except that is all for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. I'm really excited to start compiling all of my 2020 favorites, so keep tuned for that. I'll make sure to link all of these products in the description down below as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye!